Good morning.
Crying feeling. And my auntie, who is a pastor, told me.
Sawyer, morning.
If there is a
Simone, morning.
front of you,
Bless up, bless up.
A David within you.
Sensational.
In 2025, them say me now win again.
I'm mad, you're mad.
But labor rights, my pastor auntie tell me say, read your Bible. Because after David defeated Goliath, the war never done this up. Goliath had 4 big brothers.
Morning, 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 morning. Let's check in. Leonie Lioness, good morning. Melvita, good morning.
And David rocked them up again. Last year,
Happy Friday.
after the local government election, Goliath leave 4 brother down there. Donovan Mitchell in the
Vibe True Health
division.
morning. CVF morning. Opal morning. Sister Yvette morning, morning.
In the Mandeville division.
Happy 4th. Happy 4th morning.
Carl Sinnott in the Patrick division.
You're fired.
Double tap the screen like right now. Double tap your screen.
In the Belfield division.
Anthony C. Mister, good morning, sir. Show us straight every time. Evangeline, good morning. Janet, good morning. Double tap your screen, hit the like. Double tap the screen, hit the like. Good morning, good morning.
And just say when you're going to the supermarket, your basket have a be XYZ. And when you're going to the supermarket, 5 items only can buy with 1 money. When the 1 money, you also give it 4 items.
Good morning.
Jesus Christ,
Morning.
And let me tell you, if I
Double tap your screen, like up the live right now.
thief or murderer, I'm gonna become the law.
Show us, show us, show us, show us. Show us. Show us.
PNP, yeah, PNP, me now vote because I'm the one that is best in Jamaica.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, family. I hope everybody is well. Happy Friday to each and every one out there. Happy 4th to those in the USA. Good morning. Family, I hope everybody is doing well this morning. We are back with another hot video. And this morning, we're going to talk about the riff-raff and the ray-ray politician them. The ray-ray and the riff-raff PNP them. We're going to talk about them this morning. It's very important that we continue to talk about the riff-raff and the ray-ray them in the PNP. Mayor Dwayne Vaz talking foolishness, but we know George Wright is going to defeat him. Bunting talking foolishness, but Ives is going to defeat him. We don't even know who them are sending after Mark Golding because we know jungle not change. You understand me? Dayton talking nonsense. Riff-raff Dayton. But we know that Danny Lawrence is going to defeat him. This time even worse than what Crystal Lee did to him. So we're going to talk about it. So Father Paul will be joining later. Ricardo, morning. Ricardo, I believe that's Ricardo in Canada. You understand me? Bless up yourself, you know. One George Wright, he's saying that right now. Family, make sure you double tap the screen. Double tap the screen and that will register as a like. If you're using a mobile phone, make sure you double tap the screen. So while we wait on Father Paul, there are a couple of things we can do. Let me see if I can look at the survey real quick. Let's see what we have in the survey right now. And we're going to get into it because you know that when it comes to time, we're serious about time on this show. So remember, if you double tap your screen, if you're using a mobile phone, just tap, tap. If you double tap your screen, it will register as a like. when a like registers or when you register a lot of likes, then it tells the YouTube algorithm that the people love the content, and as such, they send it out to even more people. All right, so I asked a very important question one day ago, and it's a simple question, the one that really matters most in this time. Aston, big up yourself, same way. Super Cat, big up yourself in the family. You understand me? The question in the post tab is, will you be voting on election day? We have 326 responses. I'm still looking for more responses. And we have 3 options. Yes, no, not sure. So, we have 3% who said they're not sure. I wonder what that is all about. Make sure, if you can, make sure you get it done. Make sure if it's something you can remove out of the way, you do it. The ones who said no, make sure it is only because it's not possible at all. And we know that in some cases that's going to happen. So 3% said not sure, 5% say no, and a whopping 92% said yes, they will be voting on election day. So that is good news right now. So it tells me that the people who are watching the steady show, that they intend to vote on election day. And for that, we just want to say, on a big up on ourselves. We love it. 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 Big up on ourselves. Big up, big up, big up, big up. We love it. We love it. We love it. All right. So let us get into the content, man, because you know that time is very, very important. So let me see which one of them I want to play first. Let me play the careless Marky G, since he is the leader for the party. Let's start with careless Marky G first. You understand me? Listen to the careless utterances from Marky G, right? As he faces his imminent defeat. Whole heap of careless utterances from Mark Golding and PNP candidates who know say they will be defeated on election day. Make we hear what Mark Golding have to say right now.
We're in a serious time. We're in a difficult time. We're in a time where 25 babies have been killed, have been allowed to die. 24, and the government is wriggling to avoid accountability for it.
My goodness, what a shame. Marky G, I have something for Marky G for making those careless utterances on a political platform. I absolutely do have something for Marky G for those careless. I believe this is Father Paul calling me right now. I have a phone today. I hear the phone, but I don't see the phone. Okay, sit here. Good morning, Father Paul. How you doing this morning, my brother?
Steady. There again, I tell you. When I hear those utterances, man,
Yes.
I'm beginning to think that these people are crazy, man. I think they lost their minds.
Absolutely. I was going to play something from Marky G for the careless utterances. Let us give him the donkey right now. Marky G, that I feel. Donkey of the day, Marky G. Breakfast Club style. You can imagine. Let's play what Marky G had to say again. You know, Father Paul, this is just telling us that these people, all they want is a win. And we talk about it every day, but it shows in so many different ways. And when they do stuff like that, we have to come and talk about it. This is what he said.
We're in a serious time. We're in a difficult time. We're in a time where 25 babies have been killed, have been allowed to die. 24, and the government is wriggling to avoid accountability for it.
Father Paul, you notice the first thing he said, 25 babies have been killed. And I guess when him realized what would have reached him right there, so him pull back and him say 25 babies were about to die. What are your thoughts on that, Father Paul?
Well, first of all, again, it goes to show that these people will say and do anything, right? Whether the misinformation business is real, man. Yesterday I was listening to Emily Shields and a guy calling, and this guy calling going on about the whole IC report, and she asked him a simple question. She said, "Have you seen the last report?" And after him go round and go round and go round, eventually him said, "No, him not see it." She said, "Do you know that the investigation against the Prime Minister has been closed?" And him depend, really? No, I never know about that. And then him just him just switch to how, oh yes, so the Prime Minister put in Dennis Chung now to help him out. And I'm like, these people are unreal.
Yes.
It's as if though, I don't know, man, some people drink the Kool-Aid. But no, man, them people are depend drip.
Oh my goodness.
Them depend drip, man. Them the Kool-Aid, just the Kool-Aid is like them, you see people in the hospital and them a push around the pole and they drip upon it and it connected to them. I saw them a move around, man. That them even they justify the things that no sensible person supposed to try and justify.
True, I agree.
We're looking at data and gamble. I try to explain the way out of this thing that this Wellington lady said.
That is it.
And I'm like, oh, are these people thinking people?
Yeah.
And then when you put that in context, you say, are these the people that we want to take over the steady ship right now?
That is it.
No pun intended.
No way.
Yeah, right? The ship that is being managed so ably by the current government. Are these the people that we want to hand it over to?
Absolutely not.
Do we really want these people at the wheel?
Absolutely not. I believe I have the statements.
Oh my goodness.
I believe I have the statement by data. Let me see if I can play it right now.
To know that we're prepared for war. And it's a war! A war! Country a march, march, march. Country a march, march, march.
So that was the Miranda. Let's hear her again.
Farmers are out of work. Nobody can produce. You can't buy fertilizer. You can't buy seed. You can't buy water. So how you gonna farm?
If I want to want make it start, if somebody not dead for me.
This is not going to be an easy victory, but I want you to know that we're prepared for war. And it's a war! A war! Country a march, march, march. Country a march, march.
I know that one has been out there, so that's the Miranda's part of it. So of course, a lot of people, they've been speaking out on it. So make we hear Dayton's response right now, because as I always say, it look like PNP, they're living in a different reality. Family, if you are just joining the show, the likes are a little bit of likes may I see right now. Remember, if you're using a mobile phone, yeah, just double tap your mobile screen right now and it will register as a like. Let us get to 70 likes as soon as possible. Right now, may I say 120 individuals. I'm seeing 120 individuals visible. I'm only seeing 42 likes. If you're a labor rights, if you are a supporter of the development of Jamaica and the JLP, just double tap your screen right now. If it's a mobile phone, if that doesn't work, right, you will see 3 dots in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Go ahead and press on those dots. You will see the option to hit the like. Let's get the likes up, family. Let's get the likes up right now as we go ahead and as we do this. So, yeah, man, we're talking about data, and continue to hit the like button, family. Let's get the likes up on this show right now. Let's hear what data have to say right now. You understand me?
I want to make it absolutely clear. The recent attacks on Miranda Wellington, our candidate for Southwest St. Elizabeth are dishonest and deeply hypocritical.
So Wellington said, we are prepared for war. And if a war, a war. That was not a threat. It was a metaphor, the kind used every day in political and public life. From the war and crime to ground wars in election, it's a way of expressing readiness, not violence.
So, Father Paul, just listen to him. You know the logical fallacy them already.
Yeah, man, the spin.
You get the spin.
The
Yeah,
spin.
yeah. Go.
Oh, I mean, I don't know him not. I don't know him not dizzy.
From that
Because
spin in there.
the way must spin like a geek, brother. Him supposed to be dizzy, man. Him supposed to be dizzy. As a matter of fact, him never know which part him there, which direction him a face.
I'm going to tell you.
But you know, this is the strategy of the PNP.
Right.
When their people do anything, you know, again, it go back to, let's say, it's not now we see it.
Yeah.
When I'm waste taxpayers' money,
Yeah.
we call it youthful exuberance.
By the way, before we move on, one of the things I make sure I pull this thing down for them is a snippet from a song. When them do anything, you know, it's okay. But when we do anything, you understand me? I said to you, when we do anything, it's a problem. Listen to it now, no? Let us play it.
It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do
it. you probably know a piece of that song. You understand me?
Tell you.
It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
So it's cool when them do it, you know. But it's a problem. Remember I said the same data who came out this week talking about Wellington, you know, and Wellington.
Lock up Wellington.
Wellington needs to be locked up.
You want lock up a man because him cost too bad one.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah, man.
And when he did it, he was not cursing at anyone.
That is it.
He was simply emphasizing.
Absolutely.
The desire.
Absolutely.
Right? And, you know, I heard a lady, on that same Emily show, a lady called in and she said, I don't know what I want about. All the little pitting them, if you stand up one side and hear them talk, we not say we condone it. But this is where we are. This is where we are. This is in the expression. I remember when the F word was not a word that was used a lot in Jamaica, but as we got more associated with North America and the way they did things, it became part of the conversation.
Absolutely.
If you're talking to a brethren or whatever, the amount of F-bombs they drop, and it, again, you know, you hear people, they say, oh, this word is the most versatile word because depending on the context.
All right, let's not sell it to the steady family this morning, but we understand.
You know what I mean? But that is the thing. But
I'm
saying these guys were going all out, wanting the man to be arrested. Arrested, you're calling for his arrest. Okay? When the Prime Minister said that we should go step out and protest their protest, immediately Dayton came out and said that what we're doing was anti-democratic.
Thank you.
Authoritarian.
Thank you.
So is one rule for me. I tell you, the comparison of the PNP being like the Republicans in terms of the way they look at things.
Right.
It is so uncanny.
Right.
It's almost, it almost seems as if though this is the playbook they're using, and the way they're looking at it is that, you know what, if a guy could come out and say anything he wants, and be in whatever situation, and the people would elect him anyway. Let us do the same thing here.
I like
it. Because leading up to the elections in the US, when you heard people calling Cliff Hughes and how they spoke about, you know, how they were going to vote.
Yes.
It was unbelievable. You could not. You're like, are you serious?
Right.
You're okay with that?
Right.
So then, what you're realizing is, you know, There's a saying, there's a thing that says the people get the leader that they deserve.
Absolutely.
And I'm really hoping that Jamaica has not gotten to that point where this PNP is the leadership that they deserve.
Absolutely.
Because you see, what people don't understand, when they say you get the leader you deserve, you see, because you're ungrateful, wicked, and evil.
Yes.
A good leader a good leader, a loving, caring, good leader can't do nothing to please you, So you will need a leader who will chastise you.
Yes.
Whip you.
Yes.
Take away everything where you have.
Yes. The wicked ruler.
Still a search receive him can't find anything more for take.
The wicked ruler.
This is because you the people are ungrateful.
Yes.
So
I
hope every day. I'm praying. I really hope.
That's a good point.
This is not the case.
That's a good point, Father Paul. And we really have to hope that we never get to that point. I see the people in the chat talking to us right now. You understand me? Leonie Lioness said the man is so wicked, he's behaving as if he was the government who, dirt those babies and so on. Mark Golding, he knows very well, but they don't care. I'm just taking some comments right now. Anthony says it's sheer desperation. You see what I said to you? Michael, steady you don't see the PNP woman use cartel shoe talk for her 7 man. She is saying that she has 7 guns. Oh, I never heard anything like that. But we wouldn't put it past them that they're saying anything and everything that they feel they must. But we understand very well that when PNP talk like this, they're just riling up the base. You see what I said to you? So he's not the only one. They're not the only ones talking foolishness. So we hear about Mark Golding. And Mark Golding, the JLP did not allow him to get away with it. So Senator Dr. Thompson, he did speak out on it. So I'm going to play his statement as well. And that will corroborate our comments on it. We talk about Dayton. Me hear Dwayne Vaz saying some foolishness too. And I definitely want to come and talk about it. But let's hear Senator Dr. Thompson. He came out and him condemning and rebuke Mark Golding for the foolishness that he went up there and talk about. You understand?
Encourage these kinds of utterances on political platforms, I think, is reckless and insensitive. I think it is a slap in the face of the parents who no doubt are currently grieving and dealing with a sense of loss. It is also a slap in the face of the skilled workers, the hardworking doctors and nurses who no doubt did their best to save the lives of these babies. This is really a terrible allegation for Mark Golding to make. I think based on the sensitivity of this matter, the opposition leader should retract these statements and apologize to the grieving parents and to the medical professionals who work tirelessly to save the lives of babies on a daily basis. Shame on you, Mark Golding. Shame on you. To attempt to score political points by making false allegations is repugnant, and we should aspire to elevate our politics.
So I'm glad he said that, and big up Senator Dr. Thompson for saying that. I love the points that he raised. You hear him say? He said, what about the healthcare workers, the nurses, the doctors, everybody, all the professionals in healthcare, who've done everything that they could to save these babies. And everybody know, you spoke on this earlier on this week, Father Paul, to save these babies and to do everything that they can. And yet here is the riff-raff, ray-ray, desperate PNP out here. So what we want to know, because, we have to put everything in a proper context, So I want to find out from the nurses and the doctors and the healthcare professionals, how you really feel about this right now. If you are here, I want you to put it in the chat, how the people them who work in a healthcare, how the folks who have family members and friends and spouses who work in a healthcare, how do you feel about this? Or do you feel that this is an insult to uno and family members, right? So what do you say, right? Don't require Mark Golding to give one apology for this, right? Isn't this a more serious thing to say than Wellington using some words for emphasis? Yeah? This no more serious than somebody trying to be, You understand me? Trying to rile up a political rally, going up there to talk about if a war, a war. How do you, the professionals, how do you feel about your family members and yourselves who work in healthcare, who know how hard you have to work day and night? Some people pulling off double shifts, working night shifts, working through all kind of difficult situations. By the way, big up to the doctors, the nurses, and the healthcare professionals. Big up to them. But we want to know, how do you feel about somebody wanting to become prime minister of this country, making those careless and rude and desperate utterances, suggesting and basically saying a fool the fault? He's saying, Mark Golding is saying that the doctors and the nurses and the healthcare professionals are careless, them careless. And thankfully, Christopher Tufton came out the other day and said the PNP, all they're doing is that they're playing on people's emotions. Father Paul, you have anything else to say about what Dr. Senator Thompson said a while ago, or Senator Dr. Thompson? Go ahead, my brother.
He's spot on, but I'm looking at it from another angle.
Mm-hmm.
The angle being that these, first of all, the statements being made and then asking for an apology.
Yeah.
You know, that is kind of like a man shot your box and then tell you say sorry.
Okay.
And him come out and him see you the next day and him shot you another box and him tell you say sorry. It remind me of one of border cats. You know, right? You know, I mean, so it's like, or you say you have a problem with what I said. So where you got about it? Now you just want an apology. You're not getting an apology. As a matter of fact, in all of I can't recall a single instance where the PNP, them or their surrogates, have said or done anything for which they have apologized.
Oh my God! Hold on there. I want you to say that again, my brother.
I cannot recall an instance where the PNP or any of their surrogates have done anything for which they have apologized for. And all they do is come out and justify what they say, whatever it is that happened, whatever it is they said, and spin it. But then it, had me thinking. I think it was Maya Angelou who said, when a person tell you who they are,
believe them,
or what they're going to do, you should believe them, And I'm hoping that the Jamaican voters are really listening to what these guys are saying. Let us not think that this is just the stump. And, it brings me to another point. I constantly hear Cliff Hughes talking about the collective wisdom of the Jamaican people will make the right choice. And I question that, because I say, hold on, it was collective wisdom that operated in 1989. It was collective wisdom that operated in 2012.
Hold on. You hear the question, family? What happened in 1989? What happened in 2012? Go ahead, Father Paul.
Yeah, what is this collective wisdom that he's speaking about? Because if the wisdom is to choose against your best interest, I don't know if that is wisdom or that is tomfoolery.
Could never be.
Yeah, because how else do you explain it? And then come 2025 now, we're calling on this collective wisdom to make the right choice.
I want to emphasize. Can I add something to that? Go ahead.
I don't know. The choice. The choice is not about a party. The choice is about running the government so that it can deliver the benefits to the people. That is the choice. There is nothing that the PNP has presented. They have not even presented any credible response to the government's budget say what they're going to do for the people. All we hear about is that what they're going to end, what they're going to roll back, what they're going to, and the ideas that they do come up with. When they do try to present something, is absolute rubbish.
Absolutely.
It doesn't work.
I agree.
So, we're wondering to ourselves about this collective wisdom. Where does it exist in Jamaican voting situation?
Let me speak to that for a second, right? I don't like any sense of, complacency when it comes on to this particular election. And every time I hear anything, whether you said third term confirm, because I think the third term confirm situation is right along that line about trusting collective wisdom. The truth of the matter is that when you look at what people pay attention to a lot of times in the political arena, and there's just the mere fact that after such great performance in the 80s, the people still voted out, they voted out Siaga, 89, and then we brought in Portia. You understand me? It just tells you that Jamaican people, we still have a lot to learn in terms of voting, because we don't vote on issues. A lot of Jamaicans still vote on whether they like the politician or not. I think I heard Dion Jackson Miller in her own assessment of the fake done on the polls. She was saying that Jamaicans tend to get tired of them politicians after a while. So it's almost as if Jamaicans look at politicians as people that they're in a personal relationship with. You will hear this, they don't see them often. Are you supposed to see a politician? We understand that, right? But whoever you are, yes, some people go, a lot of ladies especially go and vote for Andrew Holness because they love Andrew Holness and what they're doing. But it should not just be because you love Andrew Holness. You have to look at the policies the man has put in place. You have to look at the benefits that he's delivering to the people of Jamaica. You have to look at the development of Jamaica. You have to look at everything that you're getting under JLP that you've never gotten under PNP. As a matter of fact, the PNP has never done anything in any era that could be compared to even the worst performance of the JLP in any era. You understand what I said to you? So this tells you that it's time that we move away from this whole situation where we're voting just because we like the person. When you come to voting for your MP for this upcoming election, don't just look at what your MP is not doing now. The next thing about Jamaican people, what I don't understand, you look at North Trelawney and you look at all these Central Kingston. You look at any of the, and big up Central Kingston, we see the momentum, North Trelawney same way. But you look in all these places where you've had the PNP strongholds, and these people, they don't get nothing out of the PNP, but they're still voting for the PNP. So one of the reasons why we forward and we talk so seriously is that we have to say, just like we said yesterday, traditionally the labor rights, they're pretty laid back when it comes to election day and voting. But remember, the PNP is built to win elections. That's the only thing the PNP is built for. The PNP is not built to run a government. That's why they've never been successful. If you look in the entire PNP history, all the underhanded things that they've done to win election during PJ's time and so on, everything they've done from Manly thing, state of emergency and everything is voter suppression, discourage voters. I think you may hear Father Paul say PJ used to make sure say input enough of the voting stations or the place where people go to vote. You understand me? He makes sure to input them in the garrisons back in the day. And then you also have the stuffy whereby you also have, you understand me, 100 people living at the constituency, but you're having 120, 130, 140 votes. So it tells you that something is wrong with hope. So the PNP, they've always exercised criminality.
No
Go ahead.
steady.
Go
Not,
ahead.
not, no, not 120 votes per city.
Yeah.
120%.
120%. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
120%.
That's what I meant
Right?
to say. That's what I meant to say.
Which means that you have more vote in the box than with the people than the number of people in the box.
That is what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? It don't make no sense.
It don't make no
And
sense.
the thing is, nobody seems to have, again, you hit a point earlier. You said they treat it like relationships.
Yeah.
It's like, this thing is deep rooted,
Right.
because you're talking about people. A woman, okay, let's and listen, I'm not hitting, I'm not. Just making an example.
Don't say no. You're not supposed to say.
How many times have people entered into relationships with people who they know? For instance, especially in some of these areas that vote heavily PNP.
Yes.
A woman is in there, and she having a relationship with a man who she know have 6 other baby mother in the same area. And you said to yourself, why would you ever enter that situation only for you to be one of them to line up at his workplace the day when him get paid so that you can get something too? It just don't make any sense. It's like you entered into something that was against your best interest. And you wonder to yourself if that is what carries across into the politics. And then you tie that in with the church situation. You see, do you remember you played earlier in another show, Manly, I teach them the song.
Yes, man.
I change the words in the song.
Yes, man.
Changing the gospel, the church song.
Yes, man.
Political song.
Yes, man.
And the people are in this mindset.
Yes, man.
Because they have nothing more.
Hold on. Let me remind them, since you brought it up, I have it right here. Let me remind you of PNP tradition and their approach when it comes on to voting. This was Manly.
You're wrong, Peter Joshua. You're wrong. You're wrong, Peter Joshua. You're wrong. Joshua is alive, and the lion will devour you. You're wrong, Peter Joshua. You're wrong. Sing it up, sing it up, sing it up. You're wrong, Peter Joshua.
Yeah, man, and then we had the one where him turned the whole gospel, the gospel one now.
I give you the words that you must sing. Onward, Christian socialists, marching us to war with the cross of Jesus going on before.
Cult leader.
Onward, set me. Onward, Christian socialists, marching as to war with the cross of Jesus going on before. Sing to the glory of God.
Onward, Christian socialists, marching as to war with the cross of Jesus going on before. Christ
First of all, we want to say apologies to those who've had to live in those times when Manly was the cult leader that Jamaicans were running behind. And even when Manly was running Jamaica into the ground, the PNP, they continue to follow, they continue to follow behind Manly. So what we want Jamaicans and Labourites to understand is that you're dealing with a political party that is built like a cult. Reason does not appeal to them or anything like that. For them, it's all about winning an election. But just like from Manly days, when them win election, just like Andrew did say, just like the dog who will run down the car and bark, but when the car stop, the dog stop to the dog can't do anything. It's the same way. The PNP run down power, but when they get power, they cannot run a country. Anthony C. Mr. said very disgraceful from the PNP and Michael Manley. That's what it was. You see them people here, them non-black people here, me just put it that way. You don't understand how these people are thirsty for power, you know. A lot of us don't understand how far these people will go to tear down a good government just so that they can get power, and they will wreck the country just like Manley wrecked the country. And like we say, the PNP, they have a tradition of mashing up Jamaica. And after they mash up Jamaica, they hand it back to the JLP to build back Jamaica, because PNP a riff-raff. PNP a ray party, and they cannot run no government. So labor rights and well-thinking Jamaicans, you better be serious about voting JLP in order to keep these benefits. You understand me? I said, Father Paul, go ahead.
Hey, listen, you know, as
Yeah.
as if you care to look deeper into the situation,
Yeah.
and steady,
Yeah.
when we have these conversations, sometimes we end up touching on some areas
Yeah.
that are people are very tense about.
Yeah.
You don't say that.
Right.
But if you never ever look at the root of the situation,
Mm.
you will never be able to come up with a proper solution.
True.
So part of what what they have done is they tap into the spirituality of the Jamaican people. And the reason why we're so spiritual, we're coming back from the motherland. Yeah? Right?
Yep.
The thing is, you tap into it because spirituality is kind of a brainwashing type of thing, People, if you see these situations when they show you these different cults and whatever, the people get into a frenzy.
Yep.
And they carry out acts and they behave a certain way.
Mm.
There is no the rationality leaves the room.
Mm.
And so they tap into that. In that article, that one, everything where that interview, they call it the magico spiritual connection that they make in the politics. That they make the songs, make the songs a certain way, easy for the people to remember. But when they sing the songs, just like people go to church, a man go to church and him feel depressed, But by the time he left church, he feel like he can take on the world, because it make him feel like, oh yeah, you're bigger than this. And it's the same way when they go to the meetings. They speak these things. When she come out and say a war, it is basically riling up the people, making them feel as if though, yes, we can do this. And the only way to counteract that is for well-thinking Jamaicans who can see the tangible benefits being realized under the current government to go there and vote. Because if they don't go there and vote, these people are going to go. They're going to look at the menu, they're going to order the meal, your meal, and you have to pay for it.
That is it.
Not just pay for it, but eat it as well.
That is it.
So, we really have to look into this thing a little bit more. And sometimes we have to touch some areas where people, is a brainwashing thing.
It is a brainwashing thing, absolutely.
It's a brainwashing thing.
I'm getting some comments I want to read.
Telling you, sorry, steady, but a man is telling you that the sky is green. And when you look up there, you say, no, man, but I want blue sky, man. And it get you, first said, no, man, repeat after me, man, the sky is green. And before long, you said the sky green too.
True.
And then tell you, don't trust your lying eyes.
And that's why they continue to repeat the lies, which is going to take me into the next video I'm going to play with Dwayne Vaz, because I think it's a day ago or so him put it up, but him decide say he's going to pick up back the whole issue, that they were accusing the Andrew Holness the other day. But I want a whole heap of false talking points. I want to talk about that. But let me look into the comments. You understand me? Before I do that. So somebody, Leon the Lioness said the PNP did bribe Broom in the 70s and said they're gonna sweep out labor rights. They've always taken this approach, it's us versus them. They don't see us as one Jamaica, in a lot of ways, It's us versus them. That's why it's so dangerous when they are in party, in governments. You understand me? I said to you, somebody say, steady me know people who want to support the JLP but are afraid to do so because of where them live. I'm wondering if in this kind of economy that we have where so many things are improving. This remind me of when I was over living in the Kingston area and St. Andrew. People always talk about where them live. I mean, I wonder if people realize that a lot of times that they can actually move from where they are. Sometimes I wonder, some people, I don't think people understand. You can actually move from where you live,
Yeah.
You understand me, I say?
Yeah.
And you can also move in silence in terms of what you do. You can wear the shirt, but when you go behind there, you do what you need to do. I don't know how. They may have found ways to deal with that. You understand me? Somebody saying, Father Paul have a great point. But these things, you can actually move from where you live. You don't have to be subject, not because you're born in a situation. That don't mean to say you have to stay in the situation and subject yourself. Big up to everybody who came from low beginnings, came from the ghetto, came from the slums or whatever they call it, and them uplift themselves. The other day I was listening to this interview, and apparently the interview was a long time ago, but I was just seeing it for the first time, and the host was interviewing this dude, and he was in the street with him big machine gun side of him, and he was asking him a lot of questions. He was like, "Is this a political thing?" And him say, "It's no longer about the politics." You understand me? However, the whole of them vote PNP because everybody know that PNP will rather, people suffer any kind of fate, dirt rates going up, all manner of things happening. All PNP want to do, is to ensure that they are in government. It has nothing to do with performing for the people of Jamaica. So we're saying labor rights and well-thinking Jamaicans, this cannot be it. We cannot go into the third term with the same mindset. So this is the first time since we've been making poor election choices that you have a group of people, some are with the overseas, some are with the all people on PNP side. I tell you, you see them, Mr. JPU dancing the third time. You understand me? Labor rights, we ready now. Big up JPU for the one the same way. You understand me? Even PNP people who come from there. So I'm going to tell you, the party is dangerous. So, I don't know. We're just going to continue to talk to the
Let me
people.
tell you.
Go
let
ahead,
me
my
tell
brother.
you,
Go ahead.
I look at it and I said to myself, it's bad when people work against their best interest.
Have to be.
How it is that you can be getting the benefit.
Yeah, man.
You're getting the better roads. You're getting the better health. Right?
Yep.
You're getting the government have money sufficiently. Not as much as they'd like to, but they're doing as best as they can, and they're working on ways to increase the amount that they have.
That is it.
Right? We can, people hear this thing about debt to GDP, and I don't know if they put it in context. This debt to GDP is the same thing as you getting your paycheck. One second.
Before you do that, let me just throw in this comment. Somebody is commenting. The person is saying, "Steady, I have a PNP friend, and the man said that Dr. Andrew Holness is doing a great job, but he will never vote for him." Same brainwash mindset. Go ahead and talk, my brother. I just needed to read that one.
Yeah. So it's like you get your paycheck, right? And when you get it, you spend all of it paying bills. You don't even have enough left over to say, boy, you can stop at Kentucky and get a meal deal. Or, because everything gone into bills. Now, the position the country is in is where you pay all of your bills and you still have a good 30-40% left over.
That you can take care of
so
anything
that
else.
you can you can treat yourself. You can treat yourself. You know, I remember there was a time when I was living in New York, and I remember when I used to get paid on a Friday. There was a restaurant named Nakisaki, right? And it was such a good feeling to know at the end of the week you get paid and you paid all your bills, and then you just go in and say, yeah, give me one of them oxtail cow food combination.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And give me with the extra big bottle of Guinness.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to think, so boy, you were spending money that was supposed to pay a bill.
Yeah.
This was money that was left over
that
you could use to do this thing, to treat yourself.
That is it.
This is what the government is doing now, being able to take care of pensioners, take care of indigent folk, take care of situations with broken homes and women who are in abusive situations, building out this kind of infrastructure, replacing bridges. You know, I mean, they start to pave the perimeter road for around Montego Bay, right? Which is going to do a massive thing of easing congestion. All these things without having to borrow money to do it. And people, I don't know if people are connecting the dots of what good government, capable government, is able to deliver for the people.
Which is what we're seeing right now before our very eyes. 1 second, Father Paul. So, family, I still need to see more people tapping that like button. We're approaching the hour, so we're getting ready to close the show right now. If you're using a mobile phone, make sure you go ahead and double tap the mobile screen, and that will register as a like, and that will means the video will go out to more people. More people get this great content, because listen to me. Everybody, listen to me. Our life, we depend on each other. Now, democracy means to say, you know, if you vote stupidly, it can hurt me. And if I vote stupidly, it can hurt you. We've seen it over and over. And the PNP is trying to get us back to the days where it's about party, it's about them versus us, as if it's not one Jamaica. But we don't want that foolishness anymore. So, hear me I say, I want to play Dwayne Vaz's statements, which is right in line with the other foolishness. We're going to comment on it, and then we're going to move on. But please continue to hit that like button. Let's hear what Vaz has to say right now.
My name is Dwayne Vaz, your Member of Parliament candidate for Central Westmoreland. Welcome to Power Talk Mondays. Today we'll be looking at some statements made by the Prime Minister and some of his ministers that show clearly that this government trying to dictate to Jamaicans how they go about their business. The Prime Minister stated that he does not need an opposition, says his supporters will hold him accountable. What kind of stupid statement is that? Every country needs an opposition, people who can speak on issues so that we can have a balanced view going forward. He just wants his views to be out there and does not care about whatever anybody else says. That is not how any country is run, if you believe in democracy. I heard the local government minister again the other day on a stage saying that he will not surrender Jamaica to the People's National Party. I don't know is when since the Jamaica Labour Party ministers and prime ministers think they own Jamaica. No, you don't own Jamaica. The Jamaican people will decide for themselves. And they are looking what is happening, and they are knowing that all you guys are doing is dictating to the people and only caring about yourselves and a selected few people. The masses of the people are not benefiting from the programs that you're putting in place. The People's National Party is always the party that believes in bringing the masses of the people up the social ladder. And we will do that when we return to government, whenever you call the next general elections. So time come, Jamaica, for a party and a leader and a member of parliament for Central Westmoreland to be elected to put Jamaica back on track so that we can bring Jamaica to where it is supposed to be. Thank you for tuning in to Power Talk Mondays. See you again, same place, same time next week. One love, one heart, time come.
Father Paul,
Well,
I'm gonna let you speak first.
him right, man. Him right, man. Him right. Time come to end his political career once and for all. That's what time come for.
Absolutely.
Time
Absolutely.
come to end the career of Philip Paulwell,
Right.
Angela Brownberg,
Yes.
Anthony Hilton.
Yes.
Let's see, who else? Because several, and of course, to keep those in
Peter
the wilderness.
Bunting, man.
Damian Crawford, we needed to keep remain in the wilderness.
Right.
We need Peter Bunting to remain in the wilderness.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Dayton
Because
Campbell. Yeah.
These people have, and Dayton Campbell, yes.
Right.
Okay, because these people have no good plans for the country. No
That
good
is it.
plans.
That is it.
No good plans.
That
It's
is it.
like there was a conversation about when Rhoda beat Peter Bunting. She went into the constituency and found that there was $60 million that was earmarked for Central Manchester. That was unspent.
Yep. Yep.
What was Peter Bunting doing in Central Manchester? And then the question now, he's gone to South Manchester. To what end?
Just looking for a seat again to get access to taxpayers' money. Yeah.
I do hope the people in South Manchester are looking at what his legacy is in Central Manchester. It is zero. He did zero. You know, politicians like to see their name on buildings. There is nothing in Central Manchester that has Peter Bunting's name on it. So when he comes to South Manchester, what's he planning to do? More of the same. He just wants to get, you know, I said it before. These guys are not seeking politics to benefit the people.
No, they are not, sir.
They're seeking politics, I believe, to keep themselves from probably going to jail for crimes against the people of Jamaica. I think that is their motivation.
And for their personal enrichment as well.
Yeah, they're fearful. Look here, it is not about money. These guys already made a bag of money. Right? They already made a bag of money that they're sitting on. And they're sitting on this money, and they would, you know, it's not even like they would even have this money and they even helping the party.
That is it.
They're not helping the party. They're not helping the people. You remember people come out, Bunting come out and say, oh, I'm going to pay the light bill. What kind of person does that? It's your party.
The wicked people get the wicked leader, man. Yeah, man. Go ahead, my brother.
You know what I'm saying? So here it is. If you look at how they treat one another, right now, if you look at how they're treating each other, every man inside there watching next man, you know.
But one second.
Because you don't know who have the knife.
But as we move to the close, I want to add something to a couple of things to what Dwayne Vaz said a while ago. You heard what he said. The People's National Party is the party that believes in the upliftment of the poor. Now, what I want to know, are we still voting? We don't care about what you believe. What you should have been able to say is that the People's National Party always delivers when it comes on to taking care of and uplifting the poor. But him can't make, he couldn't have said, so him couldn't even say it because people who are on a PNP, people who are no P at all, they know that they have no claim to fame. So it's all like, it's like Manly. They're so good at talking. They're so good at criticizing. They're so good at promising. They're so good at brainwashing the people. They are so good at riling up the people. So it's like you hear Manly a while ago, you know, the Anwar Christian socialists and you're wrong for trouble, Joshua. It's the same kind of approach tapping into the spirituality of the people with this blood and fire comrades thing, you know.
Yes.
But in this day and age, we should not be voting for one good song. So as we want to remind especially people who are young and they don't know no better, you need to understand that none of the things that the JLP is doing right now that's benefiting the Jamaican people, these things are not going to continue under the PNP because the PNP They have their whole tradition is based on using taxpayers' money for their own enrichment. You understand me? So therefore, he spoke about that. The next thing again, when Dr. Andrew Holness said, no, we don't need an opposition because, the people hold us accountable. Like, Mark Golding put out a statement about it before. Dayton put out a statement. The only thing I ask myself is, Dwayne Vaz, why is he even putting out a statement so late? So it seems to me that he's not even paying attention to any other issues, All they're doing is just cherry picking the first issue that they can get. And they have this thing of now repeating things, repeating every and anything that they're saying. But when you look at it, there is no substance in their message, right? Dion Jackson Miller, who is aligned with their party, she said the other day, she said the PNP, they don't have no message. And what she said is that, yeah, the JLP might be at a standstill based on the fake Don Anderson poll, but if the PNP continue same way, continue to slide backward, then they will end up losing in the Don Anderson polls. You understand me? So if PNP cannot even when them a commission polls, right? If they can't win in the very polls that they're commissioning, what is that telling you about these people? The next thing Dwayne Vaz say is that the programs that the JLP is putting in place, that they are not benefiting the regular people. So let me ask you, who gonna benefit from the bus service? Who will benefit from PATH? You can tell me about the others, right? Who is going to benefit from the free health care and the medical centers that always get shut down under PNP? Who is going to benefit from these things? It's the poor people, them.
Yeah.
It's the poor people, them.
This refer is completely almost building a new Cornwall Regional Hospital.
Yeah.
The children's hospital that is being built alongside it. The extra the next building that they're putting up at Spanish Town Hospital. Mm-hmm. The expansion of University Hospital. Mm-hmm. All the different health centers that have been upgraded. Mm-hmm. Is people use these things, mm-hmm. whether and it don't matter what P you are. However, mm-hmm. there is still some people out there, mm-hmm. again, the agents, mm-hmm. why I would tell you, we can't get away from the Speakers Guild committee thing.
It's hard.
Because you have these people who are out there in the various agencies, different parts of government, the healthcare system, who are there blocking people from getting the benefits. Mm. I used to live near at one point near Maple Hospital, mm-hmm. and I always found it an amazing thing when you see the people coming in to work, right? And as a result, I think it was my grandfather who pointed out to me that if he is going to hire somebody to do any work in his house. Mm-hmm. They're not allowed to bring any bag with them. Right? Because he says these bags come empty and leave full. Mm-hmm. And I remember after he said it to me, I'm there, and I'm observing that these people, they come in every morning to work, and when they're leaving in the evening, it's like a hamper donkey. The amount of stuff that they're carrying out of the hospital. This is the very same. This is the very same thing that you see. This is why they like PNP now, because PNP allows this kind of thing. Yeah, doctors using the facilities to run their practice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You understand me? Mm-hmm. Things are constantly being siphoned off. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Because the people at the top, mm-hmm. them taking, they're not what you.
No, sir.
You can go and take too.
I take it party.
And so everybody's taking.
Take it.
Everybody's taking. Right. And then the people who must get the benefits don't get the benefits because there's nothing left back. And then of course, because they don't have an ability to grow the government, mm-hmm. right? They're not business minded. Mm-hmm. So they're like the people who open a shop or a bar and eat off the goods or drink off the liquor. And in no time, the bar closed or the shop closed. I remember my grandfather used to say to me, say, when you buy a case of condensed milk, the margin on the milk is so small that he can only use 1 tin out of every 24 tins that you buy.
Wow.
And those were valuable lessons.
Yeah.
Showing you that if you drink out the milk, if you drink 6 tin of milk, you will not be able to buy back a case.
That is it.
And so here it is, we're talking about people who know how to consume, but don't know how to replenish.
That is it.
And this is why the Prime Minister told them in his budget presentation, he said, you know, I know you guys are confused and bewildered as to how it is we're doing all of this. But you see, when you know what you're doing, you can do these things.
That is it.
And which is why, for instance, when they were pushing them, give her the 40 billion or excess one collecting taxes.
That is it.
And I said, no, why do that? And here came COVID. And that same 40 billion, had we given it away, would have needed it, but it would have been gone.
That is it.
So this prudent way of doing business, having ideas and knowing how to implement ideas, they've had at the pipeline party.
Yeah, man.
They've constantly had all these projects in the pipeline.
Yep.
Now that they're being implemented, they've run out and said, oh, it was our idea.
No, not good enough.
Listen,
not good enough.
Ideas alone cannot run a country.
That is it.
You have to implement the idea.
That is
and
it.
if you don't know to implement the idea. But the Prime Minister was very honest with them. He said, listen, you are the idea party, and I'm the implementer party.
Yes, we put it in action.
So yes. So here what you do. You stay on that side and keep coming up with ideas. And I will implement the ideas.
So the PNP come like the PNP come like the man will go there and go identify one restaurant and tell the woman, say, hey, we find one nice restaurant, you know. And then one next man come and him bring the lady go to the restaurant and go buy her the best meal in the restaurant. And then when she come back and she say, you know, so the next man bring me car, you want to bring me, and you look for the woman and say, well, I made tell about the restaurant in the first place. You understand me? Say, but it's not the same thing.
Me tell you about the thing. Exactly.
It's not the same thing. You know? It's about delivery. So, you know,
it's about delivery of services.
Delivery of services. By the way, one second, Father Paul. Family, if you look in the chat right now, I just put Father Paul's channel. I just put it into the chat a while ago. You can click on that link. By the way, when I'm done with the show, when you look into the comment section, I'm going to pin the link to Father Paul's channel at the top of that page. So you can go ahead and just subscribe to Father Paul's channel. You understand what I said to you? By the way, I want to say big up to everybody who subscribed yesterday. I saw you got a lot of subscribers yesterday, Father Paul. So
man, definitely appreciate all of that.
Right.
Again, you know what? Again, you know, like Chronics, you know.
Yeah.
We appreciate the likes,
but we
do this for the love.
We do it for the love.
We do this for the love.
We do it for the love.
Because what? You see, at some point, I may not be in Jamaica.
Right.
But that is always the place that I want to return to. And I want there to be a good, nice Jamaica that I visit ever so often.
Yes.
Going to all-inclusives or whatever. Right? I want there to be a Jamaica. Because I can't go down there and live in an all-inclusive. You understand me?
Yes.
So therefore, I need for the rest of Jamaica to be nice, just like the all-inclusive.
And as I always say, in addition, and me too, because I'm an all-inclusive type of dude, you know. Like I tell people before, I leave Jamaica, I travel every parish, and I always enjoy the best of the country. And right now, one of the things we always want is to develop, you know, some of the local places, you know, over St. Thomas right there, so over Portland, you know, some places at St. Elizabeth, you know, you get some of the maddest fish and shrimp for buy down there. So over Portland, you get some of the maddest jerk them. Everybody know, you understand me, I've bought over St. Thomas right there. So you have enough nice place on the Westmoreland right there, so you can get some mad fish same way. You understand me? And some mad shrimp on the way. Remember one time we meet one lady named Perlita. Big up yourself anyway, the Perlita. You understand me? Mad shrimp on the road, some mad soup. Yeah, listen to me. You know, say, let's not even touch it, but you know, say, you know, you can't get the same food at foreign where you get. I don't know about where you there in a father Paul, but it's not the same thing right now.
Steady.
Me could never go in there. You know, see there, see there, see there, see there.
You understand me?
See the man, listen.
That's why we keep my peeps on the ground.
You have a youth.
I'm say, listen, man, send me a box of bulla.
Yeah, in my city, me have about 3 Jamaican restaurants, but the one I like for, you know, buy things that you have a brother. I actually used to work with the mother down in Jamaica. Them have a food truck. You know what I mean? And when me ready, man, sometime when I sat there on a Sunday, me roll out. And I tell you the nicest thing, you know. If I go get some real Jamaican food out there, you know. So I tell you, you know, we have everything it takes in Jamaica to make the country wonderful. Not just for Jamaica. Make we not forget about the man that would make the mad pudding. Me never eat it, but me see them advertise, you know, the mad pudding down in the center and same way, you know. And you know, so food is always a big part. Enough people who travel here. We have a sister, you know. We're born in Canada, you know. I mean, I tell you, you know, Father Paul. She no left arm. How about this? My wife can't give me a no, man. She no left Jamaica in a Father Paul. Sometimes 2-3 times a year, you know. And one of the things why she there Jamaica, you know, the food she love, you know. You understand the way I said to you, the food. So me I tell her, say, Jamaica nice. You understand me I said to you, and when you look at the fact that Andrew is trying to grow, you know, a local economy in all the key areas in Jamaica right now, in a Portland, in a Kingston, in a St. Thomas, in a St. Anne. You understand me? You have Montego Bay, you have Westmoreland. Make we talk about, at the other day, I said to Mary P, I said, Mary P, I say, what if they go drop all that the airport they down in a Westmoreland? A problem in a Westmoreland, you know. Because remember, you know, when you come from Mandeville, St. Elizabeth, you understand me? You come from Westmoreland, even if you come from Hanover, you know, and Clarendon, you know. Remember, you know, a easy thing, you know, if you go no town, you know, if you go no airport, you know. You can imagine, remember, I said them have blue fields down there already, you know. And them have the fish down there and they have everything, you know. A gone, Jamaica gone if our airport drop down the soil, you know. When you come on to the job market and everything, you know. I saw we have to think about Jamaica, man. Go ahead, Father Paul.
We have to realize, say, listen, this, and you know, with all we are going around the world, only look here, man. Without, if my passport even expire, which may even take them chance there, right? But if my passport expire, you know, I mean, land of Jamaica, you know, a guy can't tell me, so I can't come in, you know, right? And not for them other places, they might look. They might look for use Marky G word. They might look for show way out.
I sure they might look for show way out, right? Of course. They want it, so.
Look for show way out.
Yes,
man.
man.
Them so them want it back for themselves.
Yes, man.
The same way so me want Jamaica.
Yeah, man. And when you look at the weather and everything, you know.
Try self-deport before them.
Before them come take away from me. Family, on the listen. Make sure, I'm going to end it right here, so right now. I want to say again, excuse me. I want to say again, happy Friday to everybody. Friday is one of my favorite days of the week. I want to say happy 4th, you understand me, to the people in the USA. And I want to say, on a big up myself, I am so happy that we are growing this morning program that Father Paul and I have been doing, and just continue to look for greater things. But listen to me. Family, we have to keep the government in the hand of the JLP. We said 3rd term loading. Before we go, remember, double tap your screen if you're using a mobile phone. You understand me? Double tap your screen if you're using a mobile phone. By the way, I want to say big up to subscriber and supporter MDL who sent me a generous gift. I really appreciate your gift, MDL. It tells me that we bring value. We bring value when we talk on the Steady Show. So big up yourself, family, and heart of love. Father Paul, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to make your final your closing statements, and then we'll be out of here soon.
Well, people, like I said, we're not losing sight of the objective. We can talk about a lot of things, and they say talk is cheap. Action is what do things. We need to be engaged with our family members. The same way how they engage with you for the Western Union or the MoneyGram money.
That is it.
Engage with them about them vote.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? You want to be able to return to Jamaica as well.
Hear the next thing, the Father Paul. Hear the next thing now. If it is that you're not the greatest talker in the world, you tell them to forward and call in the steady show 876-251-3028, because at some point, you know, we're gonna make the comrade them call in and see if they can argue with me, you know. And our call in and make we talk to them. Let them call into the steady show. Let them text or let them call. They don't have to be on the ear, and let them tell us, and we will tell them why they should vote for JLP. If they're having any difficulties and they don't think they will be able to vote on election day, we want to talk about that. Two things I wanted to touch on, Father Paul, but we're out of time. So we see Bunting trying to keep the FID situation alive, and we see Mark Golding trying to block this bill. You understand me? When it comes on to regulating the Airbnb business. So this is him now looking at the facts, say, you know, him not see the benefits of people getting, you know, following the law and the benefits that come with it and how it's good for Jamaica and even the people operating business. All he really he's thinking about are all of the PNP people them who probably aren't people who like to do underhanded things, who can never see the bigger benefits, and trying to raise points again. Ed Bartlett have to make him know, hey, we did all the consultations before. So as we said before, this PNP party is a big riffraff. It doesn't matter if it is that it's a matter of personal conduct, they can't conduct themselves. They can't talk on the campaign. They can't handle themselves. They couldn't present a good budget. They keep the false alarm with the news media, but they don't have any substance. Therefore, Jamaica is not going to vote for any riffraff party. You have any final thing to say, Father Paul? Because I'll be out of here shortly.
Yes, like I said, man. Listen, if you're a socialist, if you're a PNP, and you have a problem where it's against your religion to vote for JLP to continue the progress, stay home.
Stay home.
Stay home.
Stay home on election day.
The benefits. As a matter of fact, we never gonna charge you. Just stay home and go and read the benefits.
Thank you.
Take no action and go and read the benefits.
Bombs drop.
This is what we say.
I like it. 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 Go ahead and hit the like button, family. Go ahead and hit the like button. Thank you so much for joining the Steady Show. Wanna big up on yourself. Heart of love. We are out of here. Make sure you hit the like button before you go, family. Green up the chat right now. Green up the chat and hit the like. Hey. Green up the chat right now. Big up everybody. Happy Friday. Happy 4th. Thank you for supporting the Steady Show. Remember, subscribe to Father Paul. Thank you. Thank you, family. Have a great day.